All right, let's send it down to Brandon Parker and Cory Sarich with tonight's Flames TV postgame show presented by Original 16.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age, no purchase necessary.
All right, welcome inside Flames Postgame Live. It's brought to you by Original 16, and we're just going to jump right into it because the Flames open up a 6-game homestand, and it's not often you bring the OT winner right from the ice right to the desk. Mackenzie Weegar stops in, and maybe just let's get right into it. You found some energy on the last shift to beat the clock with 4 seconds left. How did that one feel?
Yeah, you know, I saw an opening there, and I saw Stone chase me behind the net, and for me, that's almost a dream. You can just go right up the middle, and I think that might be my first OT winner. So they don't happen very much, but you know, it's a great way to start off this homestand.
Well, take a look as you describe it right there.
How are your legs feeling as you're heading up ice?
Oh, if there was any more time on that clock, I'm asking for more Gato salts. My legs were seasoned.
Well, it's a heck of a shot. Look at you had the eyes up. Did you see much? Did you find a spot, or are you just trying to get it on net at that point?
No, I'm absolutely just trying to get it on net. I don't know where I'm shooting at that point, but you know, if you get it on net, there's always a chance it goes in, and that's kind of how it's been going for me this year.
Well, listen, this is quite a game. I mean, chances kind of both ways. Goaltenders were obviously good in both nets. How did you guys find a way to pull this one out?
You know what? What a performance by Danny Boy. You know, to step in there. You know, Markey went down with an illness, and for him to step in there, I don't even think he was feeling that good tonight. So you know what? Just a true professional. I think that's the best I've ever seen Vladar play. He bailed me out there in the third period when I turned that puck over. So for me to get that OT winner for him, I'd say I got that one for him. He was unbelievable.
Was there anything said in between periods? You guys are within one goal of the Stanley Cup champions from last year. You know, it's maybe the game hasn't gone defensively quite the way you want it, but you're getting a great goaltending performance. What did coach have to say in between periods?
You just stick with it. That was sort of our game plan. You know, going into this game, it's going to be, you know, a 1-0, 2-1 type of game. Obviously, Vladar, you know, stole us this game, but you know, I thought offensively we got a lot of chances. Their tender made a lot of good saves for them too, but just to stick with it. You know, don't get frustrated. And you know what, Grurzy came up with a big goal there, and I think that's kind of how our season's been coming. We've been coming back from these you know, 1-0, you know, 2-1 kind of games. So we got to stick with this thing.
Hey, unconventional, I would say. A little unexpected. You lose your starting goaltender.
Yeah.
Vladar steps in. I mean, what about in the locker room as you see Dusty getting ready to go out there as well?
That's awesome. You know, when the EBUG comes in, I think your morale goes up. Guys are a little bit, you know, laughing and smiling, and you're trying to make it, you know, a night for him as well. And you can tell he was loving it on the bench. Sure. He was hyping up the boys. He was opening the door for us. He did a great job. But Dusty, you know, great EBUG. But you know, I think the star was Vladdy.
Yeah, did he have any comments when Vladdy gets run over early in the first? Was he making any comments? Was he getting his helmet and gloves ready?
I was sitting next to him, and I could tell there was a little like, oh boy, you know, I might be getting my shot here. So he didn't say anything. He was kind of calm, but I could kind of tell that he was a little nervous there for a second. Yeah,
well, hey, it's a heck of a night. Congrats on the game winner, and congrats on the win. More importantly, kicks off a nice homestand.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, well done.
There's Weeks joining us on the desk live. Still hasn't even taken the wheels off. Go get those things off, bud. You need a break. Mackenzie Weegar gets the game-winning goal, the overtime hero, and he mentioned it. First star, though, Dan Vladar here tonight. Welcome in, by the way. I know that's quite a way to kick off the post-game show, but that's what we're all about here on the program. Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
Fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah,
off we go.
Well, what do you make of it? You heard from the hero. What did you see? You know, through your eyes as this game developed?
Well, it's a gutsy effort by the Calgary Flames, and even though the last game didn't go the way they wanted in that loss to Colorado, they did a lot of great things in the third period there. I don't know if that was a carryover into this game, but they're showing resiliency, right? This team had some things not go their way. They could have gotten down early. Again, it has a lot to do with the performance of Dan Vladar.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make some saves out there, this thing early could go the other direction. And I had him at the end of the game with 10 high danger chances, 4 breakaways, multiple 2-on-1s, and then a couple of posts that came in handy. So like Mackenzie said, probably one of the best performances I've seen Dan Vladar have in a Flames jersey.
Yeah, and obviously the timing, but the significance of them, and then also just who they were on, too. I mean, these are clutch guys that we've seen, on the other side of things, help win that team a Stanley Cup just 1 year ago, and he turned them aside. Let's take a look at some of the night that Dan Vladar. I mean, it seems like the goals, we saw the overtime winner. He's kind of in the background as to what he put on here tonight between the pipes.
Yeah, and you're making stops on Jack Eichel. You make 2 saves on Roy, 1 on the 2-on-1, 1 here on the partial break. And he had to get both legs involved in that save. And just again, his battle tonight, he was crisp in warm-up and he was crisp right from the start of this game. And little flash of the leather there on that last goal.
Well, we were kind of remarking
attempt
at
a goal.
Yeah, the shot. And that's a tough one, too. I mean, I think, if we took a closer look at it the way we saw it, too, it's kind of through a screen, and that's, a tougher one as he pulls it into his body. Not an easy save to make from that position, too.
And like you said, very fitting on who that save was made on, right? Carrier runs him over early in the first, and he takes one away from him there at the very end of the game. So a nice little piece of justice.
Sure, yeah. The hockey gods are they're just wanting everybody to know that they're still paying attention. They're still watching the games. All right, let's, as we've seen, the saves, the work of Dan Vladar, we'll hear from him in the locker room in just a moment, but let's go through the goals as well, because once again, the Flames had to play from behind in this hockey game, and it's courtesy the power play. The only goal of the game through 60 minutes, or at least from the opposition side of things, and it comes on the man advantage. What did you see here as the power play goes to work?
Just good puck movement, but again, this is what the Calgary Flames have been trying to do. It's simple, it's a shot from the outside, and Carlson's anticipating this rebound. He knows that a shot's coming from the offside here, and again, it's a bit of a tough save. There is a little touch there in front. And Carlson, he's been hot lately. What can you say? He's been the driver of this Knights team so far this year.
And leads their team in goals as well. That was his 10th of the season, but the Flames would get one back, and it comes courtesy A.J. Greer, who scores his 2nd goal in, I think, the last 3 games tonight.
Yeah, he's scored some timely ones this year. This is his 4th of the year, and he's really had a nice game tonight, and maybe not a ton of ice time, but impactful here at the end. Scores a huge one. He's fired up, and he did a nice job too. We got to give him props earlier in the game. He gets out there after Carrier runs over their goaltender.
Good point.
While they have the EBUG sitting on the bench, he says, "Hey, ho, none of that stuff's going to go on around here," and sends a nice message to the Golden Knights that you're going to pay for it if you're in our crease.
And then finally, let's look at the very last goal, and that's the most important. You heard it from Mackenzie Weegar, and the description was outstanding. He sees Stone chase him around the net, and he'll take it over from there.
You won't have a lot of Calgary Flames being unhappy with this one and this thing not going to a shootout.
Fair point, too.
Yeah.
4 seconds away.
Get 2 points and let's get out of here. Again, they haven't had a great track record in those shootouts, and we don't have to see one tonight, thankfully.
And how about Mackenzie Weegar? I think he said, I should probably look this up, but he said it was his first overtime winner. He thinks it's his first overtime winner, and what a time to do it.
You think you might be able to remember that?
I think that if there was one, he probably would stand out at some point. So I'll trust him.
I know that I only had one, but again,
do you remember it though?
Mackenzie gets a lot. He scores a lot more than I do. So, I remember mine.
You remember it?
Because there was 150 games without a goal before it.
Oh, is that right? That's a bit of a dry spell.
No joke. I scored on a partial, almost full breakaway in Carolina in overtime on my old goaltending buddy Kevin Weeks.
Is that right?
And I absolutely went nuts.
Yeah, did you? Sully? Big Sully?
Yeah, there was a big article in the paper the day before about Sarich has gone 150 games without a goal. He's chasing Ken Danico's streak. I showed him.
That's timely too. Timely in its own way. The overtime winner, and no Ken Danico record. Good for you. Let's go inside. Let's hear from our OT hero. We'll run a couple clips. I know he's kind of standing by. We'll see. We get a couple from Weegar, and then we'll join back in progress back in the room after that.
I have that right. Were you pretty close to being out of gas there?
Oh yeah, that was all I had left. There was probably no back check there. I'm glad that, I left it all out there, saw an opening, got up the ice as fast as I could, and that's sort of how it's been going for me this year.
Were you conscious of the clock at all?
Not really. That's what I don't think I had much in the back checking department if I missed that wide or there was more time on that clock. So get it on net and good things happen.
How does it feel beating the reigning Stanley Cup champions? A little bit of a tumultuous day with not knowing who your goalie was going to be as well. How did that?
Yeah, I mean, you always get up for these challenges in these games. You got the Stanley Cup champions coming in, but I thought it was more about us tonight. It's been kind of like that way for us this year, and you know, obviously you want to play your best every given night. You know, there's a lot of stuff about this team, you know, being the reigning champs. But like you said at the end of your question, I thought Danny Boy stepped up there big, and he really bailed us out a few times there.
What was that like in the room when the uncertainty was starting to just unfold just after 5, and knowing that Markstrom was going to go home, and then this guy comes in as a backup? What was that moment like? If you could take us through a little bit of it.
Yeah, obviously you don't like seeing Marky, you know, have an illness, but we got all the faith in Danny. He's been great for us the past couple of years, or since I've been here, he's been awesome for us. So in that part of it, we weren't too worried because we have a great second goalie to come in there. But you know, the morale goes up when you see Dusty come in, and the smiles get picked up, and you're making it a special night for him. And you know, it was close call there in the first shift there. You know, I looked over at him. I saw there was a little glimmer of hope there. Maybe he'd get a shot, but maybe the nerves were coming in. But you know what? I think this night belongs to Dan. He was awesome for us.
Was it the same feeling when you ran into Dan in the second period, or no?
Yeah, I when I saw myself going down, I immediately thought of Dusty again. But you know, I looked at Dan. He said he was all right. He was battling. He was in the zone. He was so focused. I don't even think he acknowledged me. So that was kind of where his mentality was at tonight.
Is that your favorite goal of the Flame so far?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have an overtime goal. It comes at the right time against a great team. You know, a 6-game homestand. There was a lot of things that went into that goal, but you know, that's exciting. That's fun. You know, that's the true sea of red that I heard back there.
What'd you do well defensively to limit the Golden Knights to just one goal?
Yeah, I thought obviously Dan. You know, he bailed me out in the third there, but you know, he was seeing a lot of shots. I thought we did a good job boxing out, but I think there's still another level we can take with, you know, the grade A chances. We can still limit those, but you know, that's a great hockey team on the other side. You know, it's tough to limit those chances, but you know, we did the job tonight. We only let them have one, so that's a great job.
What are we learning about this team?
All right, there's some thoughts once again from Mackenzie Weegar, getting our fill of Mackenzie Weegar content. I was just quickly taking a peek because I think he said it more confidently there, but in terms of overtime winners, there is not a one in his NHL career. So that is confirmed, his first NHL OT winner. And it comes at a good time as they knock off the defending Stanley Cup champs.
Hey, you know what? The D stay hot for the Calgary Flames.
Sure do.
They've been putting up a lot of numbers lately, and just keep it going.
Yeah, none bigger than that. As he said, his biggest goal as a member of the Calgary Flames, and understandably so. Let's go back to the conversation because I think you heard Weegar reference it a couple of times, and the star of this night being Dan Vladar. We showed the saves earlier off the top of the show, but there were a couple of moments early in this game where you wondered if maybe we would see Dusty Nickel at some point because, man, he was getting some traffic around him tonight.
It didn't take long. Like, it was right off the hop, couple minutes into the game, and we're going to see right here, he absolutely gets mowed down by Carrier going into the crease. I don't think this is intentional, but I think it might be accidentally intentional.
Accidentally on purpose?
Yes, that's the one we're looking for. And nice job by A.J. Greer, the guy who gets the tying goal later in the game, to just send a message, you know, don't mess around, don't be near our crease. Maybe he's just asking him, pleading with him, hey, we only got one goalie. Stay out of there.
Yeah, exactly. The conversation was had and delivered, and then there you see, you know, another time where the lid comes off. Luckily, the stoppage and play happens, and then this is the other one you heard Weegar talk about. Just gets the skates tangled up a little bit and kind of flies into him. Yeah,
Dan Vladar had a very, very active first period tonight. And nice to see him come out on top, and he was ready to go from the get-go on this one, and none of those instances seemed to faze him tonight.
No, and you heard Weegar say that. It just seemed like he didn't even acknowledge that I went in there. He was just that focused, and the end result is obviously only the one goal allowed here tonight, and first star performance. Let's hear from tonight's star, Dan Vladar.
What time did you find out that you were playing tonight?
Around 5:30. You know, I got to the rink, and goalie coach Barbs texted me. You know, probably like around 4:45, just saying, Marky's not feeling well. Just keep your head on. And then I got in and got the call. Basically saw Marky, so just hope he's feeling better.
We always hear that you guys get ready the same way, whether you're starting or backing up. But
Yeah.
Tonight would have tested that. Did you have to do
Oh,
it?
100%. I mean, if you play 2 years for Daryl, you just got to be ready for every single game. So.
How did you feel out there? It seemed like you were making a lot of great saves and you were in the zone. Could you describe how you felt you played out there tonight?
Obviously, it wasn't a plan, so I got pretty bagged this morning. I was out there for like hour 20, so as soon as I got in, I'm like, I thought it's a joke till the national anthem, and then I was just trying to give our team a chance to win, like I'm trying to do every single game, and obviously turn out to probably be my best game this season.
Considering that you had a pretty inexperienced guy backing you up, what goes through your mind when Carrier crashes into you early in the game?
Well, not much. And he told me first thing right away. He was like, "You gotta play. You got an EBUG on the bench." So it's great for Dusty. He's been practicing with us. He's an awesome guy, and I'm pretty sure he enjoyed every second out there. And he deserves it for sure because I think he torn his groin last year doing practice with us. So he went through some stuff as well. So I just hope he enjoyed it. And the crowd was unbelievable tonight. And the guys were playing really hard in front of me as well.
You had a few close calls in net there. You had one instance where someone knocked your helmet off. You had Weegar also drive into you as well. What was that going through all that adversity on top of trying to play well in net tonight?
Felt like a football player out there for a little bit, but obviously it gets you going a little bit too when you get in some contact as well. But as I said, we were just getting. It's not easy coming back from a long road trip, especially playing against the Stanley Cup champions. But I think the guys were doing an awesome job. Like I didn't have to make any rebound saves. Like they were just cleaning pucks in front of me and boxing out as well. So I think we deserved to win today.
Fans, media, like everyone loves an EBUG. Do you guys love? Is it cool for you guys to see a guy like that get this opportunity?
I mean, I love Dusty, but as a goalie, you appreciate when you have your partner on the bench. But as I said, he's a great guy and he deserves it for sure. So I'm super pumped for him as well.
It was a McKenzie that lost the puck at the blue line in the third, and you bailed him out with that breakaway save. Are you guys even after he got the overtime goal?
Yeah. I mean, he's getting chirped all the time that he's got a muffin, so I don't. I think he's got a great shot, so he just proved it there. And for me, to be honest, like I was just getting ready for a shootout, but then he just sniped. So super pumped for him, and he deserves it because he's a superstar, right? So
Okay,
good for
we'll
him.
wrap up there. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Great stuff from Dan Vladar there. Said he felt like a football player, but here's the secondary story, at least the story that started this game. That's Dusty, as he talked about. Dusty Nickel comes in. He's practiced with the team off and on throughout the course of this season as well. So he's not a stranger to the team, but he is the emergency EBUG goalie and still wearing that Mount Royal lid that he last wore back in 2012 back with the Cougars.
It's always nice to see. Every team's got one of these guys that come out and they fill in when your goalies are sick, injured. They get lots of reps. They take lots of abuse. I'm sure they love guys shooting by their ears all practice long too. So nice for him to get his time in the spotlight, a little warm up out there, a little time on the bench, and probably a few heavy sighs when Vladar gets run over. So he was probably pretty excited just to stand pat there on the bench.
I wish we had the heart rate monitor on him just to see the fluctuations as this game went along, to see where it maybe spiked a couple of times when Vladdy gets run into a couple times.
Yeah, I think for sure he's going to be feeling maybe just a little sense of panic, but
looked great though.
Yeah, and
big smile.
He had lots to sit there and watch and cheer about too with his the goaltending tandem.
I was going to say, at the worst case scenario, that is by far the best seat in the house, and he saw it throughout the course of the game tonight. So let's hear from the guy, Dusty Nickel. He is standing by and caught up with the media now.
Give him the hard one.
What was this night like for you?
It was pretty surreal. It happened pretty quick, and I just wanted to kind of take it all in as much as you could, and it was a whirlwind, so it was exciting.
When Markstrom, or rather when Vladar went down, there was that moment everybody kind of looked. What were you experiencing when he went down? Did you feel like, whoa, or were you taking it in stride?
You know what? It was so much. There was so much going through my head at that point, and I was hoping he was getting up, and I wasn't quite sure what to think at that point yet. But it was a little bit of a whirlwind, and I was watching pretty close to see how that was going to go, and I was good to see him get up in battle through, and he had an awesome game after that. So.
The is that fear, like maybe we don't know? Is that a scary feeling, or is that a let's see where this goes?
Especially when you look up and you're seeing 55 minutes left of the game. Yeah, for sure. yeah.
How are you you feeling during warm-up? You know, we saw you kind of go around. There was one point you kind of bumped into Michael backwards. Kind of take us through what it was like.
Yeah, my goal is to go out there and try to stay out of everybody's way as much as possible, and didn't fail or didn't succeed at that, I guess. And but I was just kind of taking it all in. There's obviously a lot going on, and just really trying to take it all in as, you know, get that opportunity to do that, right? So
there's nearly 20,000 people out there. What's the biggest crowd you would have played in prior tonight?
That would have been the biggest for sure. Yeah.
Do you remember like the next biggest?
Maybe 3,000 at most, maybe in junior at some point. Yeah.
Did you check your phone, and if so, what's it doing? Is it blowing? Who have you heard from?
I haven't even turned it on yet, so I imagine it's probably blowing up pretty good. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to get any friends or family into the game before you found out you were going to be there?
It happened so fast. I texted my dad, and pretty well said, "Sounds like I'm dressing tonight," and that was my phone went off, and that was it. So yeah.
How was the contract negotiation before the game?
Maybe I need to get an agent. I don't know if I was going to negotiate on it. No, it's all good.
How did this unfold from your perspective? Like, obviously, you're here a lot of the games. You have your routine. How, I guess, different was today? Like, were you already on your way? When did you find out you were playing?
Yeah,
you were dressing.
Yeah, so I actually woke up from a nap to a text from Barbara at about 5:30. Kind of let me know that this is possibly going to come in here and dress and just kind of be ready. And I live pretty close by, so I just jumped in my truck and came here and tried to do business as usual and get a warm-up in and try to stay calm, I guess.
How'd the guys make you feel welcome, or how was it being in the locker room before the game and interacting with these guys at this level?
Oh, the guys were awesome. They were so welcome when I came in here, made me feel comfortable about it, and we had a lot of fun. So it was they were awesome.
So wait, if you woke up from a nap at 5:30, what time did you get to the rink for a 7:30 start?
I was here by about 6. I live pretty close by, so it was a pretty quick turnaround. Yeah, I was just drop some food in your mouth and a banana, and out you go. So yeah, it was pretty quick. Had a banana. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I'm kind of running my own businesses. So I run a construction company, and I'm a goalie coach here in the city as well.
I think Dan said you tore your groin practicing with the team. Is that right?
Yeah, it was late last year. I came over to skate with the guys and had a little bit of an injury there, but the team was awesome and got rehab and came back to it, and it was awesome to get back and skating again.
Justin, he also talked about, it was right over here, my friend, just about you and how much, in terms of Dan, how much he appreciated you guys being on the ice and what it meant for you. When you hear words like that, how do you feel? How do you respond?
I mean, that's special. I mean, this is such a cool opportunity to, to be here. I know, every kid's dream is to play in the NHL, and if this is what it is, the opportunity to come out here and do that, and be around the guys and skate with them, just super special.
Did you list? I guess.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Yeah.
There was a moment it looked like with Logan Thompson. I don't know if there's any crossover between the two of you, Buffaloes, Canucks, all that stuff, and there's probably some age difference there. But what was there any banter and between the Vegas side and yourself? Did anyone say anything to you?
No, I kind of looked over there. I think I caught him off guard a few times. He had to do a couple trouble takes. He was kind of looking at me, not quite sure who I was, what was going on there. So I got to chuckle up, but no banter back and forth. No, I know we're both grew up in Calgary here, and we haven't crossed paths until today, so that was kind of a cool moment.
Do you get to take home souvenirs, or just grab what you want? Like, are there rules to it?
I don't know. I got to talk to them about that yet, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale Original 16. Official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age. No purchase necessary.
All right, welcome back inside Flames Postgame Live. It's brought to you by Original 16. The Flames 2-1 winners in overtime over the defending Stanley Cup champs, the Vegas Golden Knights. Mackenzie Weegar gets the OT goal, and you just heard from, there's a few different layers to the stories. Dan Vladar, obviously the #1 star. He makes 27 saves in the win, and then Dusty Nickel backs up tonight. And what we found out was a very emergency type situation. Markstrom entered, left, and Dusty Nickel got the call at about 5:30. That's some tight timing to get ready.
Yeah, usually guys like a little more notice than that, and
sure.
Guys usually like to get to the game 2 hours before, not just an hour and a half. So
yeah.
he did great with his lack of preparation.
That's great, and a huge smile on his face. Obviously, a huge moment for him.
He conducted quite a good interview for having that many microphones in your face.
Yeah.
That's probably a first as well, I would have to think.
Yeah, probably doesn't get that on his regular day job, the goaltending coach and construction services. And Handled it well.
Yeah, good composure.
Good
Not
composure.
too many cliches. Well done.
Yeah, must be a goalie. Good composure. All right, let's go and hear from the head coach. Obviously, there's a few things to touch on. Here's head coach Ryan Huska stepping up to the podium now.
How did you feel about your team tonight?
Pretty good. I mean, there were stretches where we were on our heels a little bit, but it's not an easy game to come back and play after a road trip. And the way Vegas plays, they're a heavy, hard team to get inside on. They're a heavy, hard team to play against. So I was happy with what our guys were able to do tonight.
When a guy crashes into your goalie 2 minutes and 35 seconds into a game and you have an EBUG on the bench, what goes through your mind as a coach?
That it should have been more than a 2-minute minor, I felt. But, once Vladdy moved around, I knew he was fine. So, the guys love Dusty. Dusty comes out with us a fair bit whenever we need to rest a goalie or if we have someone that needs some extra time. So they love having him around. So it was a pretty cool experience for him, but our players enjoyed it as well.
You say with the performance of Dan Vladar getting the start
Yeah.
on short notice.
Not an easy thing. Like, he found out just before my meeting at 5:30. So he got his extra work this morning, which isn't easy for goaltenders, and to find out late, he doesn't even really have a chance to prepare. So he did an amazing job, by far his best game of the year for us. And there were some key moments in the game where it could have went the other direction off of some turnovers, and he made some big saves for us. So he was most definitely first star in my books tonight.
I'd say a pretty amazing, unique experience for Dustin. Did he talk to him before the game, and what do you say?
No, I just gave him the knuckles. He's a good kid. He really is. There was one practice last year where he was out with us. We were doing a drill where there was a lot of tic-tac-toe stuff, and he stayed in there for the whole thing, but he ripped his groin at the end of it. So, as I said, the guys love having him around. So it's not something you ever want to see yourself in, like we were tonight, but we're happy for him. It's quite the experience.
Is there a stop for Vladar that stands out for you that was the biggest?
The breakaway one for me, when we had the turnover on the offensive blue line there, that's a big save. And then I felt after that, we were a little hesitant at times. We were starting to throw pucks away, and they got some pretty good chances after that as well. But he was sound and solid in his game tonight.
Beyond Vladar, your defensemen did a really good job of limiting Vegas' forwards. Like, what did you see that they did well versus Vegas?
I thought they stayed close to our net, for one. I thought part of the help that we had from our forwards through the neutral zone, we limited some of their speed that they like to create. So I think it's kind of more of a joint thing than just the defensemen. We didn't give some of their top-end or high-end guys a ton of room in the neutral zone tonight.
What was your mind when you saw Mackenzie Weegar skate up ice with all that time left in overtime?
I didn't even, with the 5 seconds left when he scored, I was happy he scored for sure, but I was worried a little bit about the offside. I didn't even notice the potential for maybe an interference call there at the time because I thought it might be close to offside, but I got off the bench fairly quickly, so didn't want to hang around.
We talked about the power play a lot this year. What did you make of that group tonight against Vegas?
I thought it was better. I mean, it was better tonight for sure. Even in overtime, the 4-on-3, you don't often get a lot of them, but they had a shoot mentality, and that's important for us. So it's not something that you're going to snap your fingers at and it's going to be better overnight. Oftentimes, it's got to hit rock bottom before it gets better, and hopefully we've hit that point. But there is some signs of it being quicker and being more aggressive tonight.
I guess updates on Chris Tanev?
I don't have any. So he's moving around. He's fine in that regard, but I don't have anything in regards to timeline.
I was going to say, fair to say that, Tanev is a warrior, to say the least, in terms of what he's been able to go through and keep bouncing back. What can you say about his performance?
He's the best. You wish that everybody had what he had. He's got a different level of courage that if you can give a little bit of what he's got to other guys on your team, man, he's a pretty special person, special player for sure.
Igor Sharangovich played nearly 22 minutes tonight. He hadn't played more than 19 all season. I feel like it was only a week and a half ago that he was playing less than 10 against the Islanders, I think. I mean, is that a sign of your confidence growing in him and how he's playing?
Yeah, he's done some good things lately. Like, he's working on the areas we want him to work on, and he's got a skill set that we need. So we want to see him in those situations, and the one thing we don't have a lot of when we speak of power play is one-time shooting threats, and he is one. So if he can get himself feeling comfortable in that area, that's great. He's also a penalty killer for us. So when you're in playing those minutes, it's going to add up for sure.
What did you think of Connor Zary tonight? He only played under 12 minutes, but he did get an assist.
Yeah, I thought he was fine. Yep.
If I can just follow up on Zary, not just tonight. Like, I think he just became the first Flames rookie national contract in 2017 to have 10 points in a month. How is the offense transmitted? What has he done to be productive now at this level?
I think, well, it started with him coming up with confidence, and he was able to make plays to start with, where our team at the time when he was brought up, we were more of a fragile group where it wasn't pretty a lot of nights with what we were trying to do. And he was at the point where he was feeling really good about his game, and when he came up, you could see the confidence that he had. And I think there's been some connection with Naz. And he's just continued to do it for the most part. He's made smart plays when he had nothing. He'll throw it in the corner like an NHL player should do. And when he has an opportunity to make a play, he's made some good plays for us, for sure.
Well, good.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Tomorrow's
All right, there is head coach Ryan Huska wrapping up his media avail at the media lounge, and now we look ahead because for the Calgary Flames, they'll get a little bit of a break here. The schedule has been tough, as we know, both in terms of the travel and then obviously the strength of schedule. But to kick off a 6-game homestand, a good start here, and get ready, get rested, because it kind of continues in terms of the tough competition moving forward.
Yeah, and again, we talk about resiliency. They just come off a tough 4-game road trip. You split out there, you come back with 4 points, and now you get right into it again. You take on the defending Stanley Cup champs. You get out of here with 2 points. You've got Dallas upcoming. You've got Vancouver, a couple of really hot teams. Nothing easy about it. And guess what? Dallas is probably going to have a sour taste in their mouth after the last third period you just played against them. So got to be ready, but these are good tests. And again, there's no trap games. These are easy games to get up for when you're in the heat of the season.
Yeah, well said. And a great start for the Calgary Flames here tonight. They get the overtime win, courtesy Dan Vladar, the first star performance, 27 saves, and then Mackenzie Weegar, the overtime hero, streaking up the ice and scoring with just under 5 seconds to play to win it for the Calgary Flames. And they take 2 points off of the Vegas Golden Knights, the defending champs, tops in the Pacific Division, but the Flames take one step closer to getting back to 500. There is Dusty Nickel, who made his Flames debut here as well. Watched as Dan Vladar put on a show. Next date is Thursday night. A couple of days in between games here. Day off tomorrow, practice on Wednesday, and then it's the Stars once again here back at the Saddle Dome on Thursday night. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. We'll see you right back here at the Dome on Thursday night.